Thanks to 1-800-Flowers for sponsoring this update. Show your mother how much you appreciate everything she puts up with. Get 24 multicolored roses for $24 when you visit 1-800-Flowers.com, click the radio icon, and use offer code KNOW. Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashley. I'm back, you guys. I had a really lovely time at the YouTube Creators Summit last week. It was really awesome to be invited, but it's time to be doing the news again. And it looks like the newest character to hit Fortnite is Thanos. Entertainment Weekly reports the Mad Titan is coming to the Battle Royale game in what promises to be a pretty insane crossover. Starting tomorrow, Epic Games will introduce something called the Infinity Gauntlet Limited Time Mashup mode for Battle Royale, and from the sounds of it, well, it's pretty much like normal Battle Royale. It's 100 people fighting to death, one winner, except the Infinity Gauntlet will appear on the map, and whoever gets it transforms into Thanos, while wielding all the power that comes with him. So, sounds pretty cool, sounds pretty insane, pretty crazy. I want to see the videos when people get that. They're gonna like lay waste to everyone on the map, right? I mean, come on. There's gonna be a finger snap remote coming? Come on, come on. Okay, like we said, it starts tomorrow, so prepare yourself. I'm sure we'll see all the clips then. Activision says it's putting a lot of money into Black Ops 4, and company officials say the upcoming game will be very innovative. Hey, that's generally a good thing, right? Activision Blizzard President Cody Johnson talked a little about the game in a recent earnings call with investors, saying that Black Ops 4 is a game that will push the envelope with innovation. He also said that Activision invested significant dedicated resources to ensure we can deliver a great PC game, which will, well, probably make PC players happy to hear. Johnson also praised developer Treyarch, saying, "It's an incredible developer with a deep understanding of the community and the first-person genre, but also a real proven track record of innovation, including zombies and multiple multiplayer innovations that have really transformed the industry." So, Battle Royale mode? Innovative. I mean, exactly how they'll push the envelope with Black Ops 4 hasn't been specified yet, but Johnson said they'll have a lot to say at the game's global reveal event, which is happening on May 17th, so stay tuned for that. And of course, the game itself will release PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC on October 12th. Speaking of high-profile upcoming games in October, Red Dead Redemption 2 releases in that same month, and we're slowly learning more and more about the game as that date just crawls slowly towards us. Rockstar Games recently said on its website it's going to announce details about the game's special editions next month. So basically, the announcer are going to make an announcement. Pretty cool, but also, I want to hear more. In a post on their website showing off a bunch of new screenshots from the game, Rockstar said, "Stay tuned for more Red Dead Redemption 2 info next month, including first details about the game's special editions and more." So, sounds like we'll be getting multiple special editions for the game, which, hey, fine with me. We'll know more soon. The game itself is going to hit October 26th, so a nice little 2-week break there between Black Ops 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2. If that matters, they're basically the only games coming out in October because everything else cleared the way. Twitch says it wants to make it easier for streamers to get paid. The service is trying out a creative new way to hook up streamers with sponsors. The service has rolled out a beta version of something called a bounty board with the goal of directly connecting streamers with brands rather than having to go through a third-party marketing agency to do so or having to kind of like work around the system. They want to provide the system. The beta is invite only right now, and it's only for 1-hour game streams as opposed to other types of streams like, say, painting demos. Streamers who are part of the beta can sign up for bounties, aka sponsorship opportunities, which have requirements like, not disparaging the brand and labeling the stream as sponsored, that kind of thing. So hopefully we'll get around things like sponsored streamers being like, "Oh, this game is garbage," while they're being paid to stream it, which obviously doesn't make the people that pay them very happy. Twitch says it's going to beta test the board for a few months, and it's still too early to say what the final product would look like, but hey, first steps. It looks like Pokemon Go Fest is coming back for another year after last year's event infamously had a few issues, you could say. This year's event is going to take place on July 14th and 15th in Chicago's Lincoln Park, and Niantic says that, hey, it's learned from all the mistakes they made last year. That event was also in Chicago, but took place in a smaller area in Grant Park, and attendees had lots of problems being able to launch the app, which is a problem considering that is the whole point of the festival. Eventually, Niantic gave full refunds to all attendees, but Niantic CEO John Hanke says that subsequent events in Japan and Europe went way smoother in terms of connectivity issues. Hanke told IGN, "We're coming back at it this year with all that experience, and it's exciting to go back to Chicago. I'm gonna be there, and I'm looking forward to it." One difference this year is that the event's going to be spread out over nearly 2 miles, which hopefully will lessen some of the strain on cellular networks, and I'm sure they have been in a lot of talks with cell phone providers and cell network providers over the congestion last year that got everyone basically locked out. Fingers crossed. It's official. Since we were talking about Thanos earlier, this is a very appropriate thing to talk about. Avengers Infinity War has broken box office records again by becoming the fastest grossing movie to hit $1 billion in global ticket sales. It took Infinity War 11 days to hit that milestone, taking yet another box office record away from the previous one, Star Wars The Force Awakens, which made its billion in 12 days. Come on, guys. What are you even doing? I'm sure Disney's real sad about losing to themselves. What's crazy is that Infinity War has already racked up $1.16 billion, and it still hasn't opened in China. China is one of the biggest foreign territories, and so far, track record for Marvel movies is pretty strong there. So analysts are predicting they'll add another $200 million plus to Infinity War's haul after it opens there on May 11th. With Deadpool 2 expected to skew a little older, doesn't look like as much is going to get in the way of Infinity War until Solo opens in a couple of weeks. Speaking of Solo, there's news there too. It's outpacing Black Panther in advanced ticket sales, which surprised me. I don't know if it surprises you guys, but considering it feels like the hype for that movie's been a little lower than a lot of other Star Wars movies, and the hype for Black Panther was so high, it's crazy to see it outpacing Black Panther for, again, advanced ticket sales. In fact, it's beating every single title in Fandango history in 24-hour advanced sales, except for Infinity War. After getting off to a rocky start with the late-in-the-game replacement of the Phil Lord Chris Miller as directors with the tried-and-true Ron Howard, the buzz has been very slowly growing about this latest Star Wars spin-off. Now it seems like the buzz is paying off, though. The movie is expected to open in the $175 million range, which is big. Not Black Panther big, but still big. But also they ended up adjusting Black Panther's up after its pre-sales and how it did that weekend. So we'll see what's going to end up being more accurate here. Traditional Hollywood tracking or gauging opening weekend box office via Fandango's advanced ticket sales. Should be fun. Now for those who'd rather Netflix and chill, well, you've also got some good options coming up. Netflix dropped 2 big trailers this morning. First is for season 2 of Luke Cage, which looks just as fun and funky as the first season, but with bigger stakes. Cage may be bulletproof, but this time he's going up a guy that can actually hurt him, so there are stakes. And Misty Knight's got a bionic arm, which looks pretty badass, and she's not the only one. Netflix also revealed a trailer and release date for the 5th season of Arrested Development, and Buster looks to have upgraded his claw hand for a slightly less high-tech robotic appendage. This new season focuses on Lindsay Bluth's run for office and looks like it's going to be a return to form for the show. We'll see how successful they are at the end of this month. That one is dropping on Netflix on May 29th. It's been 10 years since Sylvester Stallone brought back one of his most iconic characters in the appropriately named John Rambo, and looks like the actor has finally taken another trip into Rambo's world. Deadline reports that Stallone is currently at work on a screenplay that will pit the aging war vet against the Mexican cartels. Now, there were rumors of a 5th Rambo movie shortly after the last one was such a hit that involved Rambo fighting super soldiers, but I don't know, the crazy exploitation-y idea seems to have fallen by the wayside for this more realistic big baddie. In the past, Rambo's fought redneck small-town law enforcement, the Vietnamese, the Burmese, the Russians, alongside the Taliban. The 80s were a weird time. Stallone is currently working on a sequel to Creed, but Deadline says the aim would be to go into production on Rambo 5 sometime this fall. On the space front, I always loved this space front. NASA is going back to Mars. The US Space Agency recently launched a spacecraft off on a 6-month journey to the Red Planet with the goal of possibly finding spots where life might exist. The InSight spacecraft will journey 300 million miles, so it's gonna get like real good airline perks after that. It's scheduled to land on Mars in November, ideally on a nice flat plane just north of the Martian equator. Very temperate. The spacecraft's mission is to basically take a sonogram of the planet. With the help of a probe that drills into the surface, the craft will measure the seismic rumblings of quakes, which will then give details about the planet's interior, like the size of its core, as well as the thickness of the crust. Now, they could also point out underground aquifers, which would be spots where life might be found. So good luck, little spaceship. We'll find us some Martians. I always like all the comics about how Martians are hiding from us. They're sneaky. right, that's all the news we have for you guys today for this roundup. Let us know what you think of all the updates in the comments down below to make sure you get news from every corner of the internet every weekday like this video. And if you're new to this channel, subscribe to the know. Shout out to our sponsor, 1-800-Flowers. Look, of course, we love our mothers every day of the year, but it's kind of nice to have a dedicated day to say, hey mom, thanks for putting up with me and all of the stuff that I got up to as a kid, and also, you know, for making me. Well, Mother's Day is coming up in the US, and you can get a bouquet ordered and delivered right from your PC or phone or whatever you're watching this on. Plus, getting it ordered early is good because, well, it's really easy to look at the calendar and figure, hey, I've got time, and then you'll all sort something out later, and then, oh no, it slips your mind, and then suddenly it's the day of. This way, you get it sorted out early and easy. 1-800-Flowers is offering a gorgeous bouquet featuring 24 roses in a rainbow of colors. And right now, you can get these lovely smelling roses at a limited time price of only $24. That is, if you're doing the math at home, $1 per rose. The roses are picked at their peak and shipped overnight, so they'll be fresh and beautiful on the day you want them delivered. To get your bouquet of 24 multicolored roses for $24, just hit up 1-800-Flowers.com, click the radio icon, and enter code KNOW.